that time, another episode. More mommies, more problems.
Hello, and welcome back to Mo Mommies, Mo Problems, your podcast destination for all things mommy. I am your host, Kaylia Flowers, and I have something to say. And I have another mommy with something to say here with us today. We have Hope Garcia, period. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah. I'm having a good time. It's a good night.
I know. We've been hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Prior. So we was chilling. I was like, we should get started. Okay. So, how are you doing? What's one good thing that happened for you this week?
I'm doing great.
Great.
A good thing that happened this week. I work in a community center and a nonprofit, and I host a mommy program that provides mommies with diapers twice a month. So they just have to attend a Zoom, and then they come pick up their diapers. And so we had our first guy come to class, and not only did he utilize like the services for the diapers, he came like to the food distribution the next day, and then he applied for a job we had posted, and then he took the interview and he got it. It was like the best success story. Like in the office, we were all excited for him. We like got him, a tie and just like different little stuff. But it was nice to. He came from like Madeira, and so he's just got like kind of on his feet. And he was like, "I really appreciate you guys." So he volunteers now. This is all within a week.
Oh my God.
It's really been. It's cool.
So that's a rewarding job to have.
Yeah.
So tell us really quick, like just give us the rundown, like what exactly. So
I do a lot of lots of paperwork, but I do a lot of I spearhead events, and I'm like a community medical or community organizer kind of, but also a program lead. So I lead several programs to give out like goods like diapers and food to
So you're just giving back to the community a whole bunch.
Yes, I love it.
I'm really big on community and connection right now, so I think it's really special that you're here. And that's really
you have to come
cool.
to my Zoom. It's really cool.
You have a Zoom?
Yeah. They come to a virtual class it's like
tell us about the Zoom. Tell them.
It's a support group. It's every other Wednesday. It's next Wednesday actually, and it's just families talking about what they do. We tell them what they offer or what we offer. If they need help with anything, or if they need any kind of services that we can help or refer them to. But we get together and we just talk. Like last week we watched a video on like 100 tips on indoor games. And they ran down all these different games you could play with your kids. And we were just like, I'm just like, so what did you get from that? And one guy's like, I'm gonna try this game. And one lady was like, oh yeah, me and my family do this game. It's English and Spanish, so we have a translator on. And
that's really
they're able to answer them in Spanish in the chat and stuff. So it's cool, it's dope.
So your program sounds super special, and
it's
I
really
do think
dope.
that.
I love it.
Check it out. What's it called? The actual title?
It's a Family Matters Support Group.
Family Matters Support Group in Fresno. Get it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a beautiful thing that happened for you this week. Then.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so how long have you been a mom?
My whole life. No, I'm kidding. 17 years. No, I guess 18 years technically because I was pregnant. I think once you conceive, you're a mother right away.
I agree.
Yeah. No matter what.
Talking about the last one.
Things change when you find out you're pregnant.
18 years, man. When did she turn 18? She hasn't turned 18. July 7th. She's a Cancer.
Yes, she is that.
I'm a Cancer.
She's very emotional.
She's a very soft soul too.
She really is.
She's so cool.
But she's. I was always worried about her being like tough. Like I wanted her to be like, she's very sweet, like sweet little angelic baby. But I'm like,
you're like, you gotta get those bars.
You gotta get ready for the world. Like it's gonna hit you. But I think she's kind of gotten it on her own. There's a lot of times I'll be like, make sure you, and she's like, Mom, I got it. I'm just like, I have to learn to pull back. But I have to respect the fact that she's being honest. Like, Mom, I got this. Yeah. So you want to do everything, and but it's awesome to watch her become like this woman. Slowly, she's like,
is it uncomfortable? That's gotta
extra gloss and like extra
eyes. Yeah.
And I'm like,
she's like fabulous.
Yes, she's
did
very.
Did she go to prom? What did she just recently do? Didn't she go to
she
a
went to
dance?
winter formal. I want to say like last year.
Was that her senior? Was her junior formal?
Her junior formal.
Yeah,
it was cool. Like she had on this gold lame, just scoop neck, and I'm like, pull it up. You don't want to show your titties too much. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to. But she's like, Mom, it's fine. I look good. And I'm like, okay. We did her makeup, and she was just It was awesome. She was beautiful.
Did that make you feel emotional?
No, I wouldn't say emotional. But I wouldn't say emotional. No. I was more proud, I think. Like, I guess that could be an emotion. Like, I was proud just to see her be so gorgeous and be strong and walk into her dance. Like,
I can't even imagine yet. Yeah. Talk about raising teenagers and guiding your kids as they grow up and start to make decisions for themselves. So, like, we were kind of just touching on it.
It's difficult sometimes to navigate because sometimes they make a fucked up decision and you can't really, you have to let them fuck up. Like, that's the hard part. Like, it's so hard for parents to stop trying to make it okay for our kids because we don't want you to scratch your knee. We don't want you to fall. Watch out, you're about to burn your hand. It's our innate,
because
like,
you've been
natural ability.
You don't want them to hurt in the way you hurt. So you're like, let me just prevent this.
It could be like
for you.
sticking your finger in the socket or whatever.
Even just basic stuff. Yeah.
Fast forwarded to now, it's like, I don't want you to hurt at all. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't
like
be
that
like that with them.
It's not a good person.
They don't seem like a good friend. We're always trying to protect our kids. We have to sometimes realize that we have to let them just be them.
That's so good.
To just be like,
that's so wise.
She asked me questions. I say, look, if it were me, this is what I would do. It's up to you, fam. I use phrases like that and like pet names like that because I want her to know. Like, sometimes I'm like, Sometimes I'm like, hey boo, or what up, fam? And she's just like,
almost
hey,
like your friend, like you switch over
know,
to
like,
the
this is where I am right now. So if you want to talk about anything, it's like saying it without
cool
saying
right
it.
now,
We're
bro.
cool. When this room is not clean, we are not cool, young lady.
Period.
Enough. Okay, let's clean it up.
Clean it up. Get it together.
Yeah. But we're always on a very cool level. I always wanted to keep it real with her. I was very not like that with my mother, so I wanted to be.
Yeah.
My mom was cool, but she was, preacher's wife. We didn't.
Wow. Yeah.
Help her cook, and we talk about.
So that's why you
stuff,
sing like that, then, huh? You were
maybe.
Were you just like in the church? Were you kind of in that environment?
For as long as I could remember.
Same thing for me too.
When I was younger, it was like hymnals, a few hymnals.
Wow.
And kind of like, I don't know, like regular worship songs. But and without pushing me, they pushed me. I think they saw the gift. So they would always have a mic in my hand. Always.
It's hard when you see the
afraid
gift.
Of that.
You're like,
yeah. Like I see it in my daughter, and I'm just like, you're gonna be a singer. She's like, I don't want to be a singer. And now she's just like, I want to do some gigs with you. I'm just like, all right, that's cool. But I have to act like I'm not inside going.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Really, I want to do that.
Because you're like, I don't want to live vicariously through you, but this would be a really cool avenue for you to take.
And I feel like your kids should surpass what you do, especially if they're in the same field you're in. Please be better than mommy. You know what I mean? Like sometimes she's like, I can't sing like you, and I'm like,
mommy,
keep trying, or I'll sit there and we'll go over run by run by run, and before I know it, she's doing it, or she's on YouTube practicing this, vocal coach stuff, and I'm just like, work. She's like, listen to this, and I'm just like, that's sick.
That's cool when they find it on their own. I was talking with Danina in the last episode, and we were just talking about like how it's hard to not be like, I want the best for you, and the best for you is me. Like you can be me. That's the best.
Yes.
That's the answer. You could just be me and do everything that I didn't do right.
Be me.
But do
right.
it all, like do me, like all the cool stuff, but also like you learn lessons without having to learn lessons. Yeah. And that's just not how
Here's
it works.
the answer. Been through it. Move on.
How it works.
Next level. I know.
Yeah. It's just not that easy, man.
It's an interesting ride. You have a relationship with your parents, but it's not always a pat on the back. It's you just finding your way, you being an adult, you know. But I don't know why it just hit me weird. Like, dang, my mom, kind of saw me like she was guiding me through. She was telling me what to do, and I remember, but I don't remember. You know what I mean? She used to always tell me though, you wait till you have a daughter. And I'm just like, you wait till you have
and then
a daughter.
And then you were like, it's a girl.
Dude,
like, what was that like?
When I found out I was
pregnant,
my mom was my best friend. I had to ask her everything. Mom, what does this mean? Okay, this feels funny. Okay, I don't know what. My foot swole up. Is that normal? Yeah. Like, I was scared because,
How old were you when you got pregnant?
I was 24.
Okay.
I had to have 25.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually had a baby before that, but I had a miscarriage. And so.
How far along were you?
21 weeks. So if I had one more
week,
I think they would have been able to incubate.
To be like,
Yes, 5.5, almost 5.5 months. So it was sad, but
so sorry.
Oh, thank you. But it was a good experience. I think all women should go through pregnancy once. I know I sound. Some people are just like, but I'm like, I really do feel it's a tangible connection that people, if they can, if it's possible. I think the process of motherhood
very unique,
is beautiful. Like you can't measure that. That wanting to do anything for that child, for this tiny person. Kind of it's like for sure. It's the purest of self-love. Selfless love.
Yeah. You're a substantial artist here in the Valley. How has gigging and staying busy affected your mom duties, if at all? Like we kind of talked about it before.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Yeah. When she was...
When did you start gigging?
Thankfully, when she was up until the age of I want to say 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff musically. I was more like working and just kind of being a mom.
Okay.
So we had a good foundation, I think.
Got to build that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then when gigs started happening, I moved here in 2009. She was born in 2005. And I'd probably say the year after, about 2 years after, I met my band manager now, Alejo, at like a backyard boogie type situation. So it was like, kids can come, but we gonna be drinking type situation. So I'm just like, okay, but I went on my own, and they really kind of opened their arms to me. It was a beautiful thing because I came from LA. So, I'm like, oh, these Chicanos, they just like come to the backyard, whatever. It was around the corner. And the guy whose house it is, he's actually Dawn's like, she calls her Vice Nino, but it's her Visalia godfather.
Okay.
So they're very close. And so they just kind of became family. And so from there, it was like more gigs and more gigs and more gigs and more gigs. And then the box happened, and then more gigs and more gigs and more gigs. And then that band stopped, and then this one started. And then I was like, I want my own shit. And so last year I started King Project. And so it's just building. And now I am going to, because I have not yet, but I'm saying this because I'm manifesting it. But I'm going to release my album in December of this year. I'm going to have an album release. And then also I'm doing a Jill Scott tribute by hook or by crook. I'm doing that Jill Scott tribute one here, and I'm planning one in LA.
Bro!
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm going to have this year. Cool. Yeah. My family's all in LA, so I'm like, they're like, you never come to your stuff. So I'm like, y'all better pack it out. Then.
How special and amazing is that going to be? And you kill it every time.
I'm terrified.
The box.
There's a lot.
They do a lot of stuff. Go check out the box.
Please. And the King Project.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about co-parenting and just, again, this is, you kind of naturally just like flow into the thing I was going to ask you. I feel like I'm like, we talked about this already.
It took a minute. It took some time. I mean, in between those, relationship stops and starts, there was friction, obviously, one not understanding the new relationship, especially going from a man to a woman to a butch woman.
Yeah. So, masculinity, femininity, and then like both.
Yeah. It was difficult, but I think that now they have found what they need in their individual lives, and I found what I need, and that it helps, especially when they're in relationships, but it can get difficult sometimes. Sometimes there's a little friction. There's but you said whatever, but at the end of the day, we always go back to what, if it's not about Dawn, we really shouldn't be discussing it. Real. Let's keep it 100. Let's not disrespect one another, because it's easy to slip in those even now.
It's not what we're here for, bro.
It's like,
it's not about my ego.
Dude, why you got an attitude? Right, I don't. And it's like, whoa, remember this? Let's back up. I'm very quick to pull back.
Yeah, what are we doing?
So quick to pull back. Because I'm like,
that takes a lot of self-control though, and I mean, like, you've lived some. I feel like you're just oozing with wisdom. You're just like Danina. Danina was on here, and I was like, oh shit! Like, I was like, can I take notes?
Right.
Shit, like, I need to write this down somewhere. Like, let me type it. This is really good stuff. You know what I mean?
At some point, you gotta just. It has to be about the kid, okay, and then you have to just kind of force yourself. Hey, this isn't about the kid.
But if that's the kid,
there's been times where I've taken a pause, where I've said, I think this conversation is not going where it should be going. Let's take a pause. You want to talk tomorrow? Would that be cool with you? Mm-hmm. Usually I get, yeah, that's fine. you know, or all right, you don't want to talk right now, that's cool. But now it's just like, yeah, no problem. But we don't even have to go there. You know what I mean? Because there's still always a little bit of animosity, a little bit of feelings on both ends. You know what I mean? We were something at one point. You may be doing something I don't agree with. That has nothing to do with the kid. So it's like a constant checking one another. And so now we're a dream team. It's all about Dawn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
I do think there is something to be said too, just when you're, if it is like you're saying, okay, it's all about Dawn, right? So if it is just all about the kid, then that means you have to put your ego to the side,
and that's the hard part,
you know, because like with Atthias' dad all the time, I feel very angry at him for a lot of stuff. But then I'm like, okay, how much of this is like what's happening right now, and how much of it is just kind of just our history and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
and so then I'm like, okay, well, I'm putting all of that to the side, and the fact that you kind of suck as a human to the side, because I want you to have a relationship with your son.
And the thing too,
so it's hard to not,
you're not
personalize everything they do.
Yeah, it's like I left because I was mad. You know, am I disappointed? Sure. Could the things gone better? Absolutely.
Yeah.
However, I don't have to. We're not in that space. Okay.
If you could get into your time machine DeLorean and go back in time to Hope when you were like 10 years old, what advice would you give yourself?
I would tell myself, keep singing. Fall in love with math. Probably, well, I mean, my mom taught me how to cook. She let me sit in the kitchen with her. She let me help, but I would probably do that more. I would learn how to make her monkey bread, because now she be fronting. Tell me want to tell me, and I'm like, I need to learn how to make your monkey bread, Mom. But I'd probably spend more time under my mother, just being with her. And I would tell her to spend more time fixing cars with Dad, because I did that a lot. So it's kind of like I got the best of both worlds, you know. I can burn, but I definitely can, you know, change a tire, change my oil, you know, those kind of things. I'd probably tell myself it's okay to be me. Like, I always felt like a outsider, you know, my siblings, you know, just me.
So relatable.
You know, I was shaped like my mother, very shapely women, but I think I went to like food as like a crutch. So in like a lot of the pictures, yes. So in a lot of the pictures when I was younger, I was the big one in the family, you know, and all the rest of them were smaller. Petite. So yeah, very petite. So I felt like, you know, the kind of the ugly duckling, you know what I mean? And that
inferior,
led to looking things in order to feel love, and then putting myself in very uncompromising positions. There's a few, they know who they are, that are out there that even as a younger girl always loved me for who I was. Those people are still in my life, thankfully. I'm very, very, very
to have
grateful.
those people, dude.
Yeah. And so, and my family was always like, we think you're dope. And I'm just like, you guys are lying. I'm the fat one, you know, and they've supported me like crazy. Like, my family is super supportive, even my parents, you know, with most things, you know what I mean? There's those stigmas and things with religion when it comes to like being with a woman, you know, and things like that. So a lot of some of that stuff they missed.
Oh, okay.
But they've always had their arms open for any person that I chose to be with. You know,
so they would embrace you.
Oh yeah, yeah, in their own way. As far as my parents, my siblings were just like, where the parade at? We doing it. Let's I think that something else I would tell my 10-year-old self is to have fun and stop trying to grow up so damn fast. I was fast. I was trying to always know something, do something, be
grown.
something.
Yeah.
I think it happens. Trauma happens, and some people react and they become recluse. Some people bite it and they eat it and they overcome it in their own way. So that was me. I'd rather not be afraid of anything. So I have a very fearless attitude. If I'm afraid of it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to force myself to do it because I would rather do it than be afraid. Yeah, I don't want to be afraid of shit.
I'm afraid of
No, I mean, I'm afraid of some things, like losing my child, losing my mind, like losing my hair, like different stuff.
All the things.
But not afraid to where I wouldn't be able to conquer it. You know what I mean?
Period.
Just skydiving. I don't want to skydive because I have too much to
See,
lose.
stuff like that. I'm like, oh,
I don't want my kid needs me. Like, no.
But I also like it's weird. I like roller coasters, but I would never.
Yeah, I love roller coasters.
And it's like it's the same idea. Like you're still like darting through the air at way high.
I guess you can die roller coaster.
What's the probability? Yeah, the probability of me dying here versus the probability of me dying there.
I'll take the lower.
I'll take the lower for 300, Alex. You know what I mean? So would you give yourself any other advice besides everything you shared with us?
No, I just think those things. Yeah.
That's really special.
And finish high school when it's time to finish high school. I was always doing other shit. I finished, but I did like credits later, like a class and a half that I needed. Like,
kind of thing,
yeah. Well, no, it was a high school diploma, but it was like way after. Like I was pregnant with her. You
didn't walk?
Yeah. No.
Did you? Oh, you didn't get to walk?
No. I mean, I worked at the school like as a receptionist, but I had a class offered for econ, and I was like, that's what I need, so I was able to get the credits and graduate. But
that's cool.
Yeah, I went to private schools, and it was kind of a mess. So it was like, where are the credits exactly? You know, so it was a mess. But
yeah,
I wanted to complete that, so I did. I think it was right when I got pregnant with Dawn. So I was like, I don't want to bring her into this world, and I have my high school diploma, so that's something I want to do.
Good for you for getting it done. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. I'm trying to get my associates, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep going.
It took me 7 years. I had to stop and be a mom and come back, and stopped and did some more mom stuff, and then came back, and then I had to work a job, and then I came back. 7 years it took me to get my AA, but I did that shit.
I signed up for school 6 times.
Sign up for 7.
When I signed it up, like I want to say it was number 6 that I signed in, and Fresno City was like, "Hey, here's all of your unfinished applications since 2014 when you graduated high school." And I was like, "Oh my god, it was embarrassing." It was like so, and I was like ashamed of myself, but I was also like, "Bitch, we're not doing this again.
Fuck that.
We're signing up.
Motivate. Yes,
you're gonna do these classes." And I've been doing it. It's been 2 years. I've been in school, just 1 class, 2 classes, 3
That's
classes.
Cool.
1 class.
Take your time. Take your time.
It's not a race, bro. I just want to do it for me. Yes. It's kind of that same thing where it's like, man, like I'm not comparing myself to nobody. I'm comparing myself to like me from 5 years ago. Would 10-year-old you be shocked or surprised to see where you're at right now? Why or why not? It's kind of like a big one, but you know.
I'm very pleased to say I think that she'd be kind of proud.
Really?
I feel like right now I'm my most authentic that I've ever been. The way I look, the way I feel. I mean, you know, I am perfectly who I'm supposed to be. I was just going to say I'm not perfect, but you know what? I am. I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be. So I think that she would be happy to know that I thought that way. You know, like, you're really you digging yourself. Abso-fucking-lutely I am.
Absolutely you are.
You know what I'm saying? I love me. Like, it takes a long
You're
time to really love you. Oh my God.
Stop.
But no, I mean, to really look at yourself and be like, damn, like, I'm proud of who you are. You know, like, you got these earrings on and you got your dreads and you're just feeling yourself. You know, I just feel I'm happy with who I am, and I would love for 10-year-old Hope to see me. I would love to meet her and be like, dude.
Were you anywhere close to that at that time? Because, you know, some kids are just confident and they never lose their light. Like, I lost my light, right? But, like, did you lose yours? Or did it kind of stay on for most? Because you're very fucking confident and hilarious.
I think it dimmed from time to time. I think those are the things that...
Was it people dimming you, or were you dimming your own light?
Well, at the end of the day, it's me. You know, it's all about what I allow. You know, so if you do some fucked up shit to me and I'm just like, you broke my heart. No, I allowed you to break my heart.
Ooh.
At some point, I loved you.
So, okay.
Maybe that was a bad choice.
So you're very good about not staying in the victim mentality. You're like, we're not about to stay here. And be like,
I don't know why.
What is it about me? Why is everybody hurting me so
Yeah, I can't. Like, because at the end of the day, self-reflection is a motherfucker. Like, it really takes a lot for you to be able to turn it back on yourself and say, what did you do? Even if it's nothing, even if you say this person did this to me and that to me, but what did you do? You allowed it. You did something.
What part?
It doesn't always have to be right.
You played a part.
Yes,
for real,
in some form or fashion. So when people say you hurt my feelings, no, I can't hurt your feelings. you allowed your feelings to be hurt by another person.
Yeah.
And if you re-invite that person back into your life, you're now eating the shit you just threw up. That shit's deep. You get it out of your body because it's bad for you. And then you're like, oh, come back to me. Let me eat my doo-doo back down my throat. And we do it all the time. People we love, they're mean, or they say mean stuff. And you're just like, it's okay. Gobble, gobble, gobble. That's what we're doing. You know, it has to fucking stop. This is how I talk to my kid. I tell her straight up, I don't sugarcoat anything. We talk about sex. We talk about poly. We talk about, you know, all kinds of stuff. We talk about everything. If she wants to, you know, I'm like, it's your choice. Sometimes she'll come in, she's frustrated. You want to talk? No. Okay, well, when you're ready, I'm here. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she'll come to me and sometimes she won't. But when she does, I'm like, I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, this is what it is.
And that's, you know? I mean, to have that kind of conversation, though, with your kids, like, that's fostering those good relationships that you kind of want.
It's
because
hard.
You were saying, you're like, you can come to me for anything. But, that means you have to be ready when they come to you for anything, bro.
When we're off cam, I'll tell you something she asked me.
So
and I have to just deal with it. And I'm just like...
And you're like, what did you just fucking ask me right now?
Because you want to be like, why would you be in the position to ask me this question?
What are you doing?
But you want to listen and say, okay, let me answer your question. Why in the fuck do you have this question? Because this should not be a question you're asking me right now.
But if you say the wrong thing, then now they don't feel safe and they will never fucking come to you again.
It's not a safe space anymore. Exactly.
So you have to keep it. You're like,
you got to be willing to hear the good and the bad in order to have the relationship.
You're like, okay, okay, what's going on?
You can't unhear that.
Why are you asking me?
Just give me tissue for my ears because they're bleeding.
Okay, and then he did what?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And where'd you put it? You left it where? Okay.
And
yeah, nope.
And who said you could? Okay,
it doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Could move forward. I'll do that sometimes, and she's like, "Are you mad?" I'll do that sometimes. So I say, "Okay, we're gonna move past it, and we're gonna keep talking." She's like, "Are you mad?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not mad. It's surprising, but we're gonna move on. We'll get back, but we're gonna move on because I want her to feel valid."
We're gonna circle back around though.
I remember not feeling validated when I was speaking to a person, so I always want to make sure she feels like she's validated. Like everything that she says means something. Like her words.
You're hearing her words. You're really listening to her.
Taste the words.
I think sometimes two parents, when they're listening, like they're listening, but they're not really listening. They're just like ready to say the next thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm
gonna tell you what you think because I've been there already. Know.
Or like, okay, I'm sure you've experienced this where my mom, like, they would ask you like, why would you do that? Mm-hmm. And then you would start to answer, and then they would like cut you off and start saying something.
Of course.
And then they'd be like, "Don't talk back." And it's like, okay, well, do you want me to answer or do you want me to not talk back? Like, which one is it?
See, the thing about my cancer child is she will say just that. Well, you asked me to answer, you're not saying anything, so I don't know what you want me to do.
I used to say shit like that.
And I'm just like,
and then I would get popped all the time.
I'd be like, you know what? Stop talking. Just stop talking. Just give me.
Shut it down.
Or I would just be like, you know what? I need a moment.
But that's so dysfunctional.
But sometimes I'll be real mad and I'll be like, you got me fucked up, fam. Like, what's up? And she's like, what? I was just saying. And I'm just like, okay, don't get in trouble. Like, I'm still a black mama. Like, don't do me. Okay, don't do it. Period. But for the most part, like, I try to respect everything she says. Because she's, I tell her all the time we joke around. But I tell her, like, in a few months, you're going to be my roommate. Yeah, I ain't gonna be your mama no more. You gonna be my roommate. Rent or school? No, I'm just playing. We joke around like that, but it's not really like that. But I want her to know there's gonna be levels of responsibility you're gonna start having. Mm-hmm. You gotta keep those things up, as a well-rounded. I just want her to be a well-rounded, happy individual.
Oh. Thank you so much, Hope. This was so much fun. This has been Mo Mommy's Mo Problems. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some more conversations. We're gonna do some more things, and we're gonna do our little outro. Ready? Thank you for listening to our podcast. Mo Mommies, Mo Problems. See ya later.
Deuces.
Bye.